in an easy sitting pose. So legs crossed. It doesn't really matter which leg you have in front. And go ahead and bring your hands to your knees. Close your eyes. Roll your shoulders forward. Roll them up towards your ears. Feel the shoulder blades sliding as they release down your back, and let all of the tension go on the tops of your shoulders. So elbows resting below your shoulders. Just take a moment, allowing the time to shift from the events of the day into the present moment. Allowing that transition to happen as you move from that which is outside of yourself, such as the sounds that surround you. Noticing the parts of your body that connect to the earth. Parts of your body where you can feel your clothing. The other areas where you can feel perhaps the air as it touches the skin. So we begin to feel that connection of that which is outside of ourself. Its resonance with that which we consider us. Starting to move a little deeper into the self, start to notice the parts of your body that you can sense. Rather that be the movement of the rib cage and the shoulders and the chest with the breath. Rather it be the parts of your body where you feel tension and gripping. So those areas where your awareness is automatically drawn to first. And as you move into these spaces with your mind, notice what shifts start to occur in those areas. Whether it be the release of the tension or the deepening of the breath. Moving deeper, find those parts of your body that are less in your presence. So maybe it's easy to feel the breath move in your chest or your belly, but can you feel the breath move along the muscles of the spine? So with each inhalation, the rib cage expands. Can you feel it expand backwards into the side? And you feel the movement of the diaphragm, the muscle that separates the rib cage from the abdominal area. Can you visualize with each inhalation the diaphragm expanding down towards your belly? It contracts to make room for your lungs to spread open. Can you find the soft billowing up of the diaphragm with each exhalation? Sometimes I find that it helps to imagine the diaphragm like a jellyfish. Soft undulating of the diaphragm down as you inhale. And back up as you exhale. Come into this space of awareness. Just notice if this is easy for you, or if it is somewhat challenging to feel this movement, to imagine this movement, and try not to judge, just notice. And today's practice is focused on creating more mobility in this area. The muscles along the spine, the mid-spine area or the thoracic spine area. That juncture between our upper body, our upper extremities, and our lower body, our low back and legs. This can often be an area of less movement, restriction. So make one final kind of awareness of this ease or dis-ease of movement in the diaphragm, and we'll draw awareness back towards the end. And slowly blink your eyes open and bring your hands to your shoulders. So elbows, shoulder height, fingertips on your shoulders, lengthen through the crown of your head. As you inhale, grow a little bit longer, feeling your sit bones root into the ground. As you exhale, twist as far to the right as you can comfortably. Trying to keep the sit bones rooted into the floor, the pelvis not really moving, but feeling more of the rotation in the rib cage. You can kind of imagine your right or your left rib cage moving towards your right rib cage, or maybe even the heart or the lung twisting to the right. Notice the breath. Notice how easy or where you feel restriction in your breath. Again, not judging, just noticing. And release the right hand behind your hip. Take the left hand to the outside of your right knee. Use your hand to twist a little deeper. Still trying to keep your left sit bone grounded to the floor. So again, rotation is more from the rib cage than from your lower back. But using the hand to twist yourself a little deeper, gaze over your right shoulder. Rotate your heart towards your right shoulder. And see if you can keep this depth in your turn and return your hands back to your shoulders. Relax the jaw, the tongue, the throat. And release back to center. And bring the hands back to the shoulders, elbows, shoulder height, and twist to the left. Sit bones staying rooted in the floor. Notice if you feel the tendency to shift the right hip forward, and try to just keep it squared forward for now. Start to rotate your heart towards your left shoulder. See what that does. Thinking about taking your right rib cage towards your left rib cage. And then release left hand behind your hip, right hand to the outside of your left knee. As you inhale, lengthens through your spine, grow long. As you exhale, use your hands to twist yourself a little deeper. Looking over your left shoulder. Rotate heart, lungs to the left. And then notice, can you stay twisted this deep as you bring your hands back to your shoulder? Notice what happens in your hips. Notice your breath. And then come back to center. Release the hands, shake it out. We're gonna come onto our backs. So make sure you feel an even amount of weight on either side of your hips. Shoulder blades flat to the floor, so perhaps drawing them down slightly and towards your spine. Arms out to the side. If you have enough room, you can extend your arms long out to the side. Otherwise, cactus arms. Bend your knees. Shins parallel to the floor, knees directly above the hips. So it's a little bit more challenging to take the knees above the hips. It's less challenging to take the knees closer to the chest. So kind of just decide where between you need to be to feel stable. Flex your ankles and glue your ankle bones together and your inner knees together. Inhale here. As you exhale, rotate your knees to the right about halfway, shifting your left leg forward so that your knees and your ankle joints stay glued. Rotate your ribs to the left. Rotate back to center. Try to keep your shoulder blades on the floor as you take your knees to the left, gliding your right leg forward so that your knees stay stacked and your ankle joints stay stacked. Come back to center. So just continue to rock side to side, noticing as you rock to one side, the top leg has to shift forward to keep the knees and the ankle joints together. Notice that you have to rotate the ribs to the opposite side so that the shoulder blades stay connected to the floor. And if you feel the shoulder blades lifting, just don't take the knees this far. Keep the throat relaxed, the jaw relaxed, and notice where you feel this. So notice what part of the spine you feel the rotation in the most. One more time to each side. And bring the knees back to center. Step the feet that distance apart and just windshield wiper the knees side to side. So we have a little bit of a core engagement that we needed there. So releasing that. And stretch your right leg long. Bend your left knee in towards your chest. Reach across with your right arm and grab the outside of your left knee. You're going to twist all the way to the right so that the knee actually rests on the floor. So your left shoulder will come off the floor. Let that happen. So as much as the shoulder needs to come off the floor to bring the right or the left shin to the ground. Stretch the arms out, T to the body, palms face up. Inhale here. As you exhale, take the left palm across your chest and reach it towards your right palm. Head will come off the floor, touch the palms together. And then twist back, allowing the left palm to come across the chest. Reach out towards the left and gaze towards your left hand. Twist again to the right. Touching left palm on top of right hand. And then twist back, reaching left hand out to the side, gaze towards your left thumb. Do this a couple of more times. So just reversing where we feel the rotation or what part of the body. So the first section, we were moving the lower body. This one, we're moving the upper body. Hopefully you're still feeling that rotation in the same area of the spine, kind of that area where your diaphragm attaches, bottom of the rib cage. One more time, reach across. And then come back. Allow the left knee to come back to center. Bend both knees. Straighten the left leg long. Bend the right knee towards the chest. Reach across with your left hand to the outside of your right knee. Twist to the left, twisting far enough that your knee and your shin rest on the ground. It'll take your right shoulder off the ground. Turn and look towards your right thumb as much as you can. And then as you exhale, bring your right hand across your chest. Come up onto your left side to touch your palms together. Head will come off the floor. And then rotate back. As you rotate back, gaze towards your right thumb. Exhale, twist again to the left, touch the palms together. And as you inhale, open up, gazing towards your right thumb. Continue this rotation. If you're like me, you're going to notice that one side moves a little bit easier than the other. But as you continue to move through this, hopefully you feel that you're creating a little bit more mobility in that thoracic, lower thoracic area. Remember to gaze towards the thumb as you stretch the hand back behind you. Gaze towards the palms as you bring them together. One more time, twist, touch. Rotate back. Allow your right hip to come back to the floor. Both feet come to the floor, knees bent. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Lift the head towards the knees and rock a little side to side. So feeling a little bit of a massage in the muscles that we're kind of targeting on creating a little bit more space and mobility in today. And grab behind the knees and rock all the way up to a seated position. You come to hands and knees. So knees below your hips, shoulders above your wrists, spread your fingers. Tuck your toes under. And find nice long spine reaching through the crown of your head and your tailbone. And just moving your neck first. Tuck your chin towards your chest, gaze towards your belly. And then lift your head, gaze forward. So just feeling the movement in your neck portion of your spine. Nod your head yes a couple of times. And we're gonna allow that movement to trickle down your spine. So the next time you nod your head towards your chest, let it ripple up your upper back and all the way down into your lower back. Stay in this rounded position, lift the head, and then allow the shoulder blades to go down the back as you allow the extension to trickle down your spine. Tuck your chin towards your chest, ripple up. Lift your head, lift your chest, ripple down. One more time this way, tuck your chin, ripple up or down your spine. Lift your head and extend. Point the toes back. Lift your head and your tailbone, allow your belly to move towards the floor. Then push your ribs to the right, push your head and your tailbone to the left. Come into the cat pose, round up into the back of your spine, and push your rib cage to the left, push your head and your tailbone to the right. Drop your belly towards the floor, and then try to link all of these movements together, creating a spinal rotation. So whichever way the rib cage pushes, the head and the tailbone go to the opposite side. And come back into that cow pose, lower belly towards the floor, head, tailbone lifted. Push your rib cage to the left, round through your back. Push your rib cage to the right, round through your belly. And then put all of these movements together, moving in the opposite direction. Creating a little bit more mobility in the side body, a little bit more mobility in the spine. And come back into a neutral spine. Tuck your toes under, lift your knees off the floor as you press back into downward facing dog. Spread your fingers wide, press the hands down, isometrically twist thumbs towards fingers, to stabilize the shoulders. Lift way up onto your toes, firm the front of your thighs, press them back as you lift and spread your sit bones. Gaze with your head between your thumbs. And then tuck your chin towards your chest and round up through the spine as you come forward to plank. So we're doing the same thing we did in tabletop, but in plank pose. So tuck your chin towards your chest, round your spine up and back into down dog. Gaze forward, and then tuck your chin, round forward to plank pose. Tuck your chin, round back, down dog. One more time. So imagining your spine like a wave as you shift forward into plank pose, lifting your head at the top, and then tucking your chin to press back to down dog. Pause and breathe. Step your feet about a footprint forward and mat distance apart. As you inhale, shift forward, shoulders above your wrist as if you're going into plank, but it's a short plank. Then lift your hips and press your chest forward as you drop your spine. As you exhale, press back to down dog and reach your left hand towards your right shin. Bring the hands back to the floor, shift forward into that modified plank pose. And then drop your hips, lift your chest, gaze up. Press your hips back to down dog, reach your right hand towards your left shin. Both hands to the floor, shift forward into that modified plank, drop the hips, lift the chest. Exhale, press back down dog. Left hand touches right shin. Both hands to the floor, modified plank pose, drop the hips, lift the chest. Press back, reach right hand towards the left shin. Both hands to the floor. Walk your hands to the back of your mat. Feet stay wide, heels come in, toes point out. Come into Malasana at the back of your mat. Hands to your heart. Reach your right hand out to the side. Lift your left hand up, gaze towards your left thumb. Both hands to the floor, or to your chest. And release your hands to the floor. Come into a forward fold. Toes coming in, feet still wide. Inhale, walk forward into downward facing dog. Feet remain wide. Inhale, shift forward into plank. Drop your hips towards the floor, lift your chest. Press back, down dog. Reach your left hand and grab either behind your right knee, shin, or ankle. Press the right hand into the floor, twist. Looking under your right arm, push your hips towards the center. So notice if you feel the hips shifting to the right, and try to bring them back towards center. Release left hand to the floor. Inhale, shift forward into the plank pose. Drop your hips, lift your chest. Press the hips back. Down dog, reach right hand behind left knee, shin, or ankle. Press firmly through your left hand. Shift the weight to the right as you gaze under your left arm. Release, right hand back to the floor. Turn your heels in, toes out as you walk to the back of your mats, coming back into Malasana, hands to your heart. Left hand reaches out to the side. Reach your right arm up, gaze up towards your right thumb. Notice if a shift happens in your hips. See if you can bring your weight balance to your feet. And balance the pelvis. Both hands to the chest. And then release hands to the floor. As you come up into a forward fold, turn the toes in. Parallel the feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Fingertips into your hip creases. Reach your elbows towards the sky. Gaze towards the front of your mat as you lift up with a long spine. And then walk to the front of your mat. Can be bring feet either parallel, well, feet are parallel. You can bring toes together or feet hip distance apart. Inhale, reach up, sit back into chair pose. You pull your belly off your thigh, lift your chest. As you exhale, hinge forward, coming into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, reach head, chest forward as you press the hips back. Exhale, fold, bring your hands to the floor and step back into plank pose. Lower knees to the floor. Toes point back, reach the elbows towards your hips as you lower hips, belly, chest to the floor. Hands down beside your body, palms face up. Roll your shoulders towards your ears and then bring the shoulder blades towards your spine. So squeeze your shoulder blades together, but don't draw them down your back. Lift your hands off the floor. Roll your shoulders again, seeing if you can lift your shoulders, the height of your hands, and then lift your head, lift your chest, lift your legs. So shoulder blades squeezing towards your spine, and then lift them towards your hips to lift your chest a little bit more, release down. Bring the hands or the elbows to the floor, cactus your elbows. So elbows bent to 90 degrees. Squeeze the shoulder blades towards the spine to lift the elbows off the floor, forearms parallel to the floor. Lift the shoulder blades a little higher, lift the head, lift the chest, lift the legs. Lift the wrist, lift the elbows, lift the chest, release. Stretch the arms forward, making a Y with your arms. Thumbs point up, pinky edges of your hands press down. Lift your shoulder blades towards your ears. And then lift your hands. Squeeze the shoulder blades towards your spine. Lift your head, lift your chest, lift your legs. Heels of the hands in line with the bottom of the rib cage. Tuck your toes under. Firm your thighs. Press down through your hands. Lift up, either through tabletop or plank pose, and press back to downward facing dog. Step your feet mat distance apart. Lift up onto your toes. Firm the front of your thighs, press them back, lift your hips high. Keep your shoulders where they are, keep your hips where they are, and bring your knees towards the floor. So it'll go into a down dog squat. And as you exhale, keep your right knee close to your belly as you touch right knee to right shoulder. Shift back into a down dog squat. Left knee to left shoulder as you shoot forward to plank. Down dog squat. Right knee, right shoulder as you shoot forward to plank. Down dog squat. Left knee, left shoulder. Down dog squat. One more time, right knee, right shoulder, step, right foot outside of right hand. Keep your left hand on the floor. Bring your right hand behind your head. Hug your right hip in and lift your left thigh high, so stabilize the lower body. Inhale, press your head into your right hand as you twist open to the right. Gaze toward your right elbow. Exhale, twist, right elbow to right, left elbow. Inhale, twist open to the right, gaze up toward your right elbow. Exhale, twist to the left, right elbow to right, left forearm. Inhale, rotate, open, hold here. Reach the right arm up, drop the left knee to the ground, point the toes back. Reach through your right hand as you come all the way up into a low lunge twist. Arms parallel to the ground. Turn your palms to face the long edge of your mat. So the same side that your right leg is on. Sink a little deeper into your front hip crease. Gaze towards your right thumb. As you exhale, Bring your right hand to touch your left palm. As you inhale, twist open to the right, gaze towards your right thumb. Exhale, twist back to the left, touch the palms together. Inhale, open. Try to resist the movement in your hip as you twist one more time to the right. Palms together. Both hands to the left. Bring the left hand down. Cartwheel the right hand down inside your right foot. Tuck the left toes under and press back into downward facing dog. Feet wide. Inhale, come up onto your toes, firm your thighs, keep your hips high. Down dog squat towards the back of the mat. Bring left shoulder or left knee to left shoulder as you come forward to plank. Down dog squat. Right knee, right shoulder. Down dog squat. Left knee, left shoulder. Down dog squat. Right knee, right shoulder. Down dog squat. Last time, left knee, left shoulder. Step left foot outside of left hand. Keep the right hand on the floor. Left hand comes to the back of the head. Lift your inner right thigh higher. Hug your left hip in, so stabilize the pelvis. Keep the hips aligned. As you inhale, press your head into your hands and gaze up towards your left elbow. As you exhale, twist to the right. Left elbow to right forearm. Inhale, twist open, head gazes up towards the elbow. Exhale, twist to the right. So keeping the lower body stable as you twist open to the right or to the left, lift the left hand, right knee to the ground. Toes point back. Reach through your top hand to come all the way up. So twisting, stabilize the pelvis. So left hip hugs in, left knee bends forward. Palms face the long edge of your mat. Twist to the right, touch palms together. Twist open to the left, gaze towards your left thumb. Exhale, twist closed. Inhale, twist open. Exhale, twist closed. One more time, twist open. Right hand comes to the ground. Cart the left hand down, tuck your right toe under. Press back, downward facing dog. Firm the thighs, press them back. Press the hands down, forward, and twisting isometrically, thumbs towards pinky fingers. Inhale, come up onto your toes. Step your feet wide. Go into the down dog squat at the back of your mat, and then hop both feet outside of your hands, coming into Malasana. So yogi squat at the front of your mat. Right hand reaches down and out to the side. Left hand reaches up. Perhaps sliding your right shoulder inside your right knee. Right hand comes to the outside of your hip. Left hand comes behind your back to grab. Gaze up towards the sky. Notice the weight on your feet. Try to shift to where the weight on your feet is balanced. Pelvis balanced. Release both hands back to your heart. Reach the left hand out to the side. Right hand reaches up. Slide your left shoulder inside your left knee. Reach behind with the left hand to the hip. Right hand comes to the outside of your left hip, perhaps grabbing your hand. Rotate your heart and your head up to the right. Release both hands back to the heart. Hands to the ground. Turn your toes in, feet parallel as you come into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, fingertips to the hip creases, elbows reach back as you lift all the way up, arms over your head, gaze up, arch back, hands to heart center. Feet can be hip distance apart or toes touch. Inhale, reach up, sit back, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, hinge from your hips, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Hands to the floor, step or hop to the back of your mat, and lower all the way down to the floor into Chaturanga. Belly to the floor, hands behind your hips, palms facing up, lift your shoulder blades towards your spine, lift your head, lift your chest, lift your legs, reach your arms back, palms up. As you inhale, swing the arms forward to that Y, and then cactus your arms, lifting the wrists and the elbows high. Reach the arms forward, swing them all the way back, lower head, lower legs. Lift head, lift chest, lift arms. Exhale, swing the arms forward. Inhale, cactus your arms, lift a little higher. Reach the arms forward. As you bring the arms back beside your body, lower the head, lower the legs. One more time. Shoulders together, lift arms, lift head, lift chest, lift legs. Swing the arms forward, palms face in. And then cactus your arms, wrists lift, elbows lift. Hands to the floor in line with the bottom of your rib cage. Tuck your toes under, firm your thighs. Press up plank. Exhale, back down dog. Feet mat distance apart. Inhale, lift up onto your toes. Firm the thighs, press them back. Hips stay high. Down dog squat, so bend the knees, hover the floor. Take right knee forward, step right foot outside of right hand. Left hand stays on the ground. Right hand reaches up, gaze towards your thumb. Lift your left thigh, hug your right hip in. Exhale, twist. Weave right arm behind left arm. Twist as deep as you can. As you inhale, twist back, open, gaze up towards your thumb. Exhale, twist back to the left. Reach and gaze towards your hand. Inhale, open. So stabilize the lower body as you twist last time to the left. Lift up, reach the arm up. Hug the right hip in, left leg strong. Come all the way up into a twist. Arms parallel to the floor, palms face the long edge of your mat. Lift the left thigh, sink a little deeper into your right knee. Bend the left knee, hover. As you inhale, sweep both arms forward and up. As you exhale, sweep the right arm down and through, straighten your back leg. Exhale, hover. Back knee, both arms sweep up. Inhale, exhale, twist back to the right, straighten the back leg. One more time, hover. This time, reach your right arm back, taking your right hand to touch your left thigh. Reach right arm, left arm towards the back of your mat. Cartwheel, left hand down, right hand down. Step back into a wide leg down dog. Firm your thighs, press them back. Lift up onto your toes. Keep the hips high as you hover the knees, down dog squat. Left foot comes outside, left hand as your foot come forward. Right hand stays down, left hand reaches up. Lift the back of the right thigh, hug the left hip in. Exhale, twist to the right. Reach right arm behind, or left arm behind right arm. Inhale, twist open, gaze up towards the thumb. Exhale, twist to the right, reach behind the right arm. Inhale, twist up, gaze towards thumb. Last time, twist to the right. Inhale, reach the left arm up. Firm the right thigh, hug the left hip in. Stabilize the lower body as you lift the upper body into a twist. Arms parallel to the floor, palms face the long edge of your mat. Hover, right knee, sweep left arm forward and up. As you exhale, sweep it back, straighten the right leg, reach the left hand back. Hover right knee, Sweep both arms forward and up. Take the left arm down and through, straighten the right leg. One more time, sweep arms forward as you hover, right knee towards the floor. Then reach left arm back towards your right thigh, right arm towards the back of your mat. Both hands come to the floor, step back, downward facing dog. Breathe. So slowing down the breath. So moving with this intention of creating thoracic mobility, that movement in the muscles along the spine. As you pause here to breathe, can you notice the breath a little bit more in the back body? Separate your feet, mat distance apart. Bring your thumbs to touch. Come up onto your toes, gaze between your thumbs. Come into the down dog squat, and then hop hands outside of your feet. Thighs parallel to the floor. Lift your arms up, coming into a modified chair pose. Bring your right hand inside your right thigh, twist to the left, gaze up towards your left thumb. Keep your hips centered. Bring both elbows inside of your knees, palms to touch. Keep your hips stable. Reach your left hand down, right arm up. Gaze towards your right thumb. Both hands to heart. Release the hands to the floor and come into a forward fold. Grab your opposite elbow. Hang. Slow down the breath more. Let the heaviness of your head reach the crown of the head towards the floor. Release the hands. Heel toe your feet closer together. Fingertips into the hip creases. Elbows reach towards the sky as the chest opens. Lift all the way up. So I'm going to do this first part facing you. Stay at the front of your mat. Bring the soles of your feet or the big toes to touch. Outer edges of your feet parallel. Bring the weight onto your right leg, hands to your hips. Bend the left knee forward. So you're balancing on your right leg. Firm the outer right hip in. Bring your right hand across to the outside of your left knee. Start to pull your hand into your knee as you push your knee into your hand. From that, you'll start to feel the twist of the thoracic spine to the left. Reach the left hand behind you. Maybe taking your gaze towards your left thumb. Keep pushing your fingers into your knee and your knee into your fingers. And then release the hand. So right hand reaches forward, left hand reaches back. Keep the knee where it is. Twist back to center, hands to heart. Come up onto or start to bend your right knee as you lower left foot to the floor. Once the left foot comes down, come onto your toes and lower all the way down. So you're coming into a toe squat. So knees and ankles glue together. Hands to your shoulders. Twist to the left as you pull your right hip back. Keep pulling the hip back so the knees stay glued together. Twist. Keep the knees together. Bring the fingertips to the floor. outside of your left knee. Pause here and notice if the right knee shifted forward and bring it back so they stay together. Twist a little bit more to the left, bring your palms to the ground. So you should feel that your left knee is resting right above your right elbow. Walk your left hand back a little further, back a little bit, and allow your left hip to rest on your left elbow. Gaze between your arms and then forward. Start to shift your weight, maybe lifting your top foot, maybe both feet come off the floor. So into a modified version of Parshvabhakasana. Lower the feet back to the floor. Pull the right knee back, so keep the knees together. Lift back up, hands to the shoulder. Twist back to center. Keep the toes off the ground. Lift up halfway, drop the heels, coming into a chair pose. Hands to heart. Shift the weight onto your right foot and kick your left heel towards your hip. Both knees stay bent. Straighten your left leg back and then lower the foot to the ground and come into Warrior Two, Virabhadrasana 2. So right knee is bent above your ankle joint. Heel to arch or heel to heel alignment. Hands behind your head. Open your elbows wide. As you inhale, lean back and gaze towards your right elbow. As you exhale, side bend to the right and gaze towards your left elbow. Maybe touching right elbow to left, right knee. Inhale, arch back, gaze towards your right elbow. Exhale, side bend, gaze towards your left elbow. One more time. It's time as you exhale, bring your right hand to the floor, outside of your right foot. Shift left leg forward. Transition into Ardha Chandrasana, so half moon pose. Stacking left hip on top of right. Reach left arm up. Flex your left ankle, push the foot towards the wall behind you. Then bring both hands to the ground. Square your hips. Bring your left foot to the floor, about 3 feet behind your right foot. Left hand to the floor inside of your right foot. Twist to the right into Parivriti, revolve triangle pose. Pull your hips back, rotate your heart and your head towards your right thumb. Both hands on either side of your right foot. Step to the front of your mat into a forward fold. Breathe. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And fingertips to the hip creases, elbows towards the sky, lift head, chest, peel all the way up, arms come over your head, gaze up, arch back. Exhale, hands to heart center. Shift your weight into your left foot, hands to your hips. Draw the right knee forward. Left hand comes across the body to the outside of your right knee. Start to press your hand and your knee together. Twist to the right as you reach your right arm back. So stabilize the outer left hip. Continue to push knee and hand together. And then release the hand. Left hand reaches forward. Keep the knee up. Twist back to center, hands to your heart. Start to bend the left knee as you lower right foot to the ground, come up onto your toes. Come into a toe squat, hands to your shoulders. Glue your knees together, twist to the right. Fingertips to the floor, then hands to the floor. Bring your right knee to the outside of your left elbow. Bring your right hand closer so you can rest your right hip on your right elbow, and then lean, perhaps taking feet off the floor. Lower the feet back to the floor. Find your balance, squeeze your knees together. Hands come back to your shoulders, coming into the toe squat. Slowly start to come up, heels come down, so chair pose. Then shift your weight into your left foot. Kick your right heel to your hip. Find the stability in your hips, stretch. Right leg back. Foot to the floor, come into Virabhadrasana 2. Hands behind your head. Stabilize your lower body, press the feet down. Arch back, gaze toward your left elbow. Side bend, gaze toward your right elbow. Arch back, gaze toward your left. Side bend, gaze toward your right. One more time, arch back. As you side bend, left hand comes to the outside of the left foot. Shift your weight forward. Half moon pose, so Ardha Chandrasana. Stack your right hip on top of your left. Flex your ankle and push the foot back. Bring both hands to the ground. Square your hips. Step your right foot about 3 feet behind your left foot. Right hand stays on the ground. Twist to the left. Reach left hand up towards the sky. Pull the hips towards the back of your mat. Twist up towards your left hand. Release both hands to the foot. Step back into plank pose. Lower down chaturanga. Inhale, scoot forward and up to up dog or cobra. As you exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Breathe. Step your feet wide. Bring your thumbs to touch. Inhale, come up onto your toes, gaze forward. Exhale, down dog squat. Hop to Malasana, hands to heart. Hands to the floor, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Fingertips to the hip crease, elbows reach towards the sky. Gaze forward, look up. Reach the arms over your head as you arch back. Gaze towards thumbs, hands to heart center. Shift the weight into your right foot. Bend the left knee forward. So we're going to put this all together. You can either do what we did the last time, taking your hand outside your left knee, or you can grab the big toe with the first 2 fingers of your right hand. Stretch, left leg long, reach left arm back. Keep your leg where it is, release your left foot, bend the knee. Both arms come over your head as you lower the foot down, come into the toe squat. Hands stay to the heart, knees stay together, twist to the right, hands to the floor. Hip to elbow, knee to elbow, side crow. Option to straighten top leg back, bottom leg forward. Bend both the knees, feet to the floor. Hands to the shoulders, twist back to center. As you come up, heels come to the floor into chair pose. Shift your weight onto your right leg. Kick your left heel towards your hip. Reach the left leg back, straighten the right leg. Shift back into Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Both arms come over your head. Inhale, arch back, gaze to the right. Exhale, side bend, gaze to the left. Inhale, take it back, gaze to the right. Exhale, gaze to the left. One more time, take it back. This time as you exhale, side bend all the way and transition into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Bring both hands to the floor. Square the hips. Keep the left leg lifted. Left hand on the ground. Reach right arm up towards the sky. So Parivriti Ardha Chandrasana, revolved half moon pose. Both hands come to the floor. Bend the right knee as you touch left leg down. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Fingertips to the hip creases, elbows reach back. Lift head, lift chest, lift all the way up. Arms up, gaze up, arch back. Hands to heart center. Shift the weight to the left leg. Bend right knee forward. Either grabbing knee or grabbing toes. Stretch, right leg forward, right arm back. So Parivriti Uttita Hasta Padangusasana. Release the big toe. Arms reach up. Knee bends. Lower bending left knee, toes to the ground. Hands to your shoulders. Knees stay glued, twist to the right. Hands to the floor. You can stay in this twist or hip and knee to the elbows. Transition, side crow. Perhaps straightening top leg back, bottom leg forward. Bend the knees together, feet to the ground. Hands to the shoulders as you twist back to center. Lower heels to the ground as you come into chair pose. Kick. Right heel to the hip. Start to fold forward. Straighten both legs. Reaching left leg back. Transition into Virabhadrasana 2. Arms reach over the head. Side bend back. Side bend to the left. Gaze into the right arm. Inhale, arch back. Gaze to the left. Side bend. Gaze to the right. One more time. Take it back. As you side bend to the left, transition into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Stack right hip on top of left. Firm the legs. Both hands come to the floor. Square the right hip towards the ground. Keep the right hand on the floor as you twist open to the left. Lift left arm up. Bend the left knee, right foot to the ground. Left hand to the ground. Step left leg back. Option for one more vinyasa or not. So finishing in downward facing dog and slowing down the breath. Come up onto your toes, feet wide, hands narrow. Take a down dog squat towards the back of the mat, and then hop into Malasana. Hands to your heart, close your eyes, deepen your breath. Slow it down. Stretch your arms forward. Keep stretching the arms forward as you tilt the hips back and then come into Navasana. Bend the knees towards the chest. Straighten your legs long as you reach your arms over your head. And then fold forward. So even in our forward folds, this thoracic mobility can help. Just notice the breath. All the way up and down the muscles of your spine. And bring your hands on either side of your knee, press up. Bend your knees, lower down. Hands on either side of your hips. Snuggle your shoulder blades closer together. Press up into bridge pose. So lift the hips, chest towards the chin. Clasp the hands, snuggle your shoulders closer together. Squeeze the glutes to lift the hips. So oftentimes in back bends, I feel stuck. And that mid-spine, as if I can't extend any deeper. So notice how it feels today. I'm going to unclasp the hands, let the hips grow heavy as they release to the floor. Let the shoulder blades widen, hug the knees in towards the chest. Rock a little side to side. Take one more deep breath in. As you exhale, completely release. Allow your legs to extend long to the floor, arms down beside your body, palms facing up. As you bring yourself back into the presence of the now, see if you can consciously breathe into the muscles along your spine. And slowly start to deepen your breath. Noticing how the body feels now. Noticing the quality of the breath. Your next inhalation, reach your arms over your head. Reach through heels or toes, stretching the legs long. As you exhale, bend your knees and roll onto your side body. Using your hands and your arms, slowly press yourself up to a seated position. Bringing your hands to meet at heart center, pausing with your thumbs on your breastbone. If you can bring your awareness back into the jellyfish movement of your diaphragm, down as you inhale. And up as it softens towards the lungs as you exhale. And hopefully you feel a little bit more freedom in the space within, a bit more awareness. And thank you so much. The divine in me honors the divine in you. Namaste.